Hello, my name is Tariq Pasha, and I am one of District 91's Pathway Guides. Pathways is coming to District 91, and this presentation will describe what the program is and the nuts and bolts of the system. What I want to do now is to share with you a presentation on pathways. On 20th of March, Pathways will arrive in District 91, and this will be the biggest change in the education program since the 1970s. Pathways has already rolled out in several regions across the globe, and the response so far has been overwhelmingly positive. Here is a short video of some of the testimonials.
What I like best about Pathways is the fact that it's much more customized to what you may want to get out of Toastmasters, what your goals are. It's basically Toastmasters updated.
The base camp is like having a personal coach. It guides you through the journey of Pathways and tells you the next steps.
One of the things I liked about Base Camp is that I can tell where I am in my journey and continue at the next step. I know exactly where I am.
I've used it on a computer, I've used it on a tablet, I've used it on a phone.
It's really cool that we're able to go on to Base Camp and take a quiz that determines what path best suits our needs.
One of the most surprising things about the assessment is that it gave me more awareness about what exactly I was looking for.
The questions were very introspective.
And the assessment was very intuitive.
Taking the assessment helped me really put a finger on my goals.
These paths are going to aid me in a more specific way than the previous programs did. The path that I chose really gave me the step-to-step roadmap into achieving my goals. There are 10 different paths. It's amazing how much opportunity there is for the future.
Pathways has led me to a whole new level.
I'm really appreciative that Toastmasters has this new, exciting format. After decades of having an old format, we are now up to date and we can determine which path best suits the individual.
So there you have it. The response to Pathways has been very positive. And Pathways is still about communication. Communication, as Ralph C. Smedley pointed out, was fundamental to all our relationships, and it was essential for leaders. And it prepared others for leadership positions. The basic education program was formulated in the 1940s. And that evolved into the competent communicator and the competent leadership tracks in the 1970s. These were, over a period of time, augmented by further advanced manuals and a program for the youth section on interpersonal communication. But what we learn and how we learn has changed markedly since the 1970s. Our time is more limited. We want to be able to access resources when we want, where we want. So the program needed to be revitalized, but how? What hasn't changed is that we learn in moments of enjoyment. And the Toastmaster meeting provides that fellowship, camaraderie, and an opportunity to learn in a safe environment. We learn in moments of enjoyment. We grow as individuals when we enjoy what we're doing. And the Toastmaster meetings do that. So in 2010, the board of directors set out to revitalize the education program. What they wanted was something that's going to be high value, something that's still fun and customizable to your needs. Be flexible to take into consideration new technology and the new ways of learning. Be more competency based. Enhance the resources. And last but not least, offer meaningful, effective evaluations. The result of all that endeavor is the Pathways learning experience. This is a tailored, self-paced learning program. You can go as fast as quickly as you wish. There's flexibility in how you access your materials, or where you access your materials, or when you access your materials. Resources have been expanded exponentially, and there is real-world applicability in what you learn at Toastmasters. You can apply them to your work, you can apply them to your education, you can apply them in any walk of life. The next video describes the key elements of Pathways.
Welcome to the Toastmasters Pathways learning experience, an exciting, flexible, and interactive way to develop your skills and help others in your club develop theirs. Building on Dr. Smedley's original vision and Toastmasters' core competencies, Pathways upholds the club experience while offering new, revitalized educational content that helps you learn communication and leadership skills that address real-world scenarios. Pathways expands on the current education and leadership tracks by offering more than 300 competencies across 59 projects. These projects are divided into 10 specialized learning paths that allow you to tailor your experience to fit your needs and your pace. All of this content is available online, allowing you to learn anytime, anywhere, from your computer, laptop, or tablet through Basecamp. Basecamp is the place where you'll find all of the materials for your learning experience, along with tools for your journey. In Basecamp, you'll be able to share feedback with fellow club members, view badges you've earned, access and save digital speech evaluations, and more. When you first begin Pathways, you'll take an online assessment that will recommend the path that's right for you. You'll be able to access your path from your education transcript in Basecamp, where you can view and complete projects. New elective projects, such as write a compelling blog and manage projects successfully, allow you to tailor your learning to meet your interests. Projects in Basecamp include a variety of interactive elements, including questionnaires, quizzes, menus, and expandable content. Educational videos model skills and provide demonstrations of the concepts you are learning. For example, Prepare for an Interview shows effective and ineffective interview techniques. Introduction to Toastmasters Mentoring demonstrates the difference between coaching and mentoring. And Manage Online Meetings provides the best practices and strategies for holding a webinar or another type of online meeting. As you can see, Pathways represents an exciting paradigm shift that brings with it many new learning opportunities. What's more, Pathways will feel familiar to you because it maintains the things you love about Toastmasters, including your club experience. Pathways is coming to your club soon. Visit toastmasters.org/pathways to learn more.
Pathways takes the 4 key fundamental competencies of Toastmasters. That's public speaking, interpersonal communication, strategic leadership, and management. And along with confidence, blends them into 10 unique learning paths. Although confidence can't be taught, it can be practiced in Toastmaster meetings, in a safe environment where you can develop your style. These 10 paths have varying levels of intensity in one of those 4 key competencies. And by providing an environment where you can practice your speaking skills, you will also develop confidence in each of the 10 paths. The 10 paths are broken down into 5 levels. Each of the levels starts off at level 1 with mastering fundamentals, starting off with the icebreaker, evaluation and feedback, and researching and presenting. And progressively, with increasing levels of complexity, you arrive at level 5, where you will be demonstrating expertise in that particular path. There are 59 projects which are organized in those 10 paths. These are available in English and 8 other languages, and more languages will be added as time goes by. Recognition is a key part of Pathways. Currently, you could be on the Confident Communicator Manual for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and not have any recognition until you have completed all 10 projects. In Pathways, at each level, you will be recognized as having completed that and get a digital certificate to monitor your progress until you arrive at level 5, where you are the expert in that field. And moreover, your fellow members, squad members, can award you badges for a job well done, for creativity, for showing exceptional leadership, etc. So your feedback is a lot more comprehensive and much more frequent. So you can judge your progress. We have all given and received less than perfect feedback. In Pathways, feedback has been beefed up. Each of the evaluations will consist of 3 pages. Page 1 has the basic speech details. Page 2 is a 1 to 5 scoring system where 1 needs work and 5 is excellent ability, and a box on the right hand side to offer written feedback. And page 3 gives you more detailed guidance on how to score on those particular aspects of that speech. Feedback evaluation is the only way that we improve, by knowing what we can improve on, how to do something better, and learn from fellow speakers. So in Pathways, there's a lot more objectivity has been built into evaluations to make them that much more effective. We have all benefited from being a mentee, being a mentor, or both. In Pathways, mentorship is recognized as a key skill. Once you've completed level 2, you can go online to do an assessment to see if you're ready to become a Pathways mentor. This module consists of 4 projects. And once you've completed those 4 projects, you will be recognized as a Pathways mentor. So how do you get started in Pathways? On 20th of March, Pathways will launch in District 91. And before that, you will get an email from Toastmasters International. Once you follow the links in the email and logged in, you will arrive at this page with 3 main buttons: the navigator, access my path through Basecamp, and choose your path. So what are these 3 buttons all about? The navigator is the most comprehensive guide that's been produced for new Toastmaster members. It walks you through pathways. It describes meeting roles. It describes club committees and their roles. So it's a must-read guide to get started in Pathways. The second button is Choose Your Path. Here you have the choice of accessing your resources either through Basecamp, the online route, or through the traditional printed materials. If you access your resources for your first path online, that is free. In printed materials, it will cost you $25. Printed materials are more limited. There are 5 paths that are available in English, and 2 in other Toastmaster languages, although more will be added on as time goes by. So although Basecamp will give you a more robust experience, choose the path and choose a format that is best for you. And how do you decide which path to go down? There's a very simple to use assessment form that you can work through. This will walk you through what you like, what you dislike, what you're looking for out of Toastmasters, what turns you on, what turns you off. And once you've done that, the system will recommend 3 paths for you. In this hypothetical example, it mentioned or recommended dynamic leadership, persuasive influence, effective coaching. And you can read more about those paths. If you don't like what you see here, you can scroll down and read about the 7 other paths, and then make your decision of which path suits you. Once you've decided on which path, then assuming that you access your resources through Basecamp, the central tab here is how you access your educational materials, your videos, your printable, downloadable resources. And also, if you're a member of 2 or more clubs, you can select which club you're logging in for that particular session you're logging in for. Once Pathways launches on 20th of March, the Competent Communicator and the Competent Leadership Manual will no longer be available to new members. They will only have access to Pathways. For existing members, you will have 2 years from the rollout of the last district, which is expected to be June of this year. So you will have until June of 2020 to complete whichever path track you're on. Whether it's the Competent Communicator, the Distinguished Toastmaster program, or anything in between, you will have 2 years to complete your program. At the end of that date, any unused manuals and any unused credits, accomplishments will not be carried over into Pathways, and you will start over at level 1 in one of the paths. So you have plenty of time to complete your education track. So when you get the opportunity, log in, read the navigator. This will guide you through the system, and you'll get more familiar with what's available online. How does Pathways affect your club meeting? Your club meetings will not change. Your speeches are still going to be 5 to 7 minutes. Your evaluations will still be the same. Your table topics and anything else that your club runs will remain the same. But what Pathways does is to turbocharge a lot of the aspects of your education program. You have the opportunity to store and access your materials online. You can have online feedback from your fellow members, and you can store them online. You will receive recognition along the way as you work through your different levels. And your fellow members can also award you badges. Instead of 68 competencies that the current education program has, you will have more than 300 in Pathways. So things like web blogging, webinars, online conferences, etc., things that did not exist in the 1970s can now be learned. And last but not least, instead of one track fits all mentality of the Competent Communication Manual, you have 10 different paths. And within those paths, you have elective projects that you can tailor make the learning experience to suit your needs. So a lot more flexibility in that. How does Pathways affect the Distinguished Club Program? The Distinguished Club Program is a tool for maintaining quality at clubs and competition between the clubs. Pathways will be catered for over the next 2 years. The left-hand side column there shows the current education targets that the clubs can go for, and set against those are the Pathways equivalent over the next 2 years. You can select as a club which education award that you are working towards, whether it is 2 competent communicators, or 4 level 1s, or 1 advanced leadership, or 1 level 5, etc. So seamlessly and effortlessly over the next 2 years, you will transition over from the traditional education program to the new Pathways learning experience. Once Pathways launches, there is an extensive support team in place. You have the district leadership team. You have the Chief Pathways Ambassador. You have Pathways guides and Pathways ambassadors for the clubs, who will be here to support you over the next few months as you transition from the traditional program to the new Pathways. Your club guides have delivered your club starter pack, which contains a hard copy of the navigator, quick start cards for the members, a flash drive with additional resources, and Pathway pins that you can award to the first 3 members of your clubs who take on Pathways. When you log in for the first time, the system will walk you through Basecamp. So you'll get familiar with all the key elements on Basecamp. On Basecamp, there will be tutorials organized by subject matter that you can watch and printable resources that you can download. Also, when you launch for the first time, the system will automatically run a compatibility check to make sure your equipment is suitable for Pathway for launching the educational materials. It may ask you to disable your pop-up blockers, and information will be available for the leading browsers. After your club's meetings, delivered by your Pathway Ambassador and your Pathway Guides, there are virtual support sessions that have been organized. Your VPE will be invited by your club guide to attend these virtual support sessions. So if you have any questions, channel them to your VPE, who can get them answered by the Pathway Guides if they can't answer the question themselves. So in conclusion, this is a very exciting time for Toastmasters and Toastmasters organization. Pathways learning experience is a once-in-a-generation paradigm shift. The new education program will serve Toastmasters for decades to come. I wish you all the luck in your Toastmasters journey. Thank you for watching this video.